Hi, Bo here, and welcome to High Tech Investment. Today I have a new exciting investment opportunity for you. It's called Yieldnotes, and Yieldnote is also part of the crypto investment space. I started research this opportunity around 8 months ago, and since December 2020 I have been investing, and with quite good results. So we're now coming up to 5 months. The main focus of Yieldnotes is Masternoding, and Masternoding is part of the crypto blockchain. For those of you who want to have a bit more details and explanations as exactly to what Masternoding is, I placed a link below to a small video presentation as to how this works in the blockchain. I will also provide you with a few more details as we go through the Yieldnotes homepage. But before we start, please make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you always get the latest notice on our new videos. And you can also join us on our Facebook page at High Tech Investments. We're now on the Yieldnotes homepage, and I will provide you the link below in the description. So let's go and have a closer look. The first part is a bit on the statistics. Masternode operates normally at all times between 2,000 and 4,000. Revenue generated, which is actually the highest in February 2021 we ever had, was 19.2%, so very impressive. But the average monthly yield that it has given over the last 17-18 months is more close to around 10-11%, which again is equivalent to annual return of more than 100%. And if you compound it, you're getting close to 250%, so very impressive. They accept various types of transfers for Bitcoins, Visa, MasterCards, which is constantly expanding. Make sure that their clients have an easier way of bringing in money and also taking the money out again. So if you look at the returns, what Yieldnotes have done since they started, you will see here that the performance on the first month, which goes back to August 2019, was 11.8%. So basically the first months seems to be very set for the average over time. The worst month that Yieldnotes ever had was in March 2020, and I think we all know what happened back then. So most of the world crashed, and obviously still Yieldnotes managed to provide more than 5% return in a month. So very impressive, and for sure it stands the test of COVID. The last one we have down here is for February, which we had our largest return so far of 19.2%. The program in a nutshell is that the minimum investment is 500 euros and the maximum on a monthly basis is 250. I know for a fact we have a few investors that has a lot more money totally invested in Yieldnotes. So very popular investments for sure. The contracts that you enter is every single time you invest. And the initial investments are always locked in for 6 months. After that you can remove that, but your profits you can take them out already on the month after. So very simple system, and I will show you a bit more about it once we log in to the homepage itself, the user platform. Below you'll see the profit, and they have a little graph that shows you that if you invested in Yieldnotes, if you compounded it, if you invested in Bitcoin, Dow Jones or the gold, this is what you'll get. So they are starting the investment here. So back in September, I'm saying if you start off with 5,000 euros, and the investments are in euros in this case here, If you would have done that for Yieldnotes and not have compounded, you would have made after 17 months 14,485 euros. If you would have compounded, it's the blue one we have up here, and your investment would have returned, and you have managed to get just over 30,000, so more than 500% in 1.5 years. Very, very impressive. So very happy with the investment. Below here we have a bit more again on the Masternoding and exactly how it works. As I said, I suggest you go have a look at the video below. You can also go to our Facebook page where we'll make sure we upload that if you want to have a look at it. But it's very important also for the Yieldnotes developers to inform you that it's nothing to do with mining. Most of the mining is not very profitable today because there's a high cost of electricity, and Masternoding obviously also have servers, but it's not the same type of process, so it's a lot cheaper, and that also means that there's not a great risk on a month-to-month basis. So I suggest you read that carefully. Here we get to the core team, and the core team is Steve, the CEO, and the mastermind behind Yieldnotes, and that takes care of the day-to-day operations is Urs. And as you can see, the entire main team here is also on LinkedIn, so they are very, very open, very easy to find, easy to communicate with. So these are not people that are sitting around and hiding. They are very much transparent, and they try to do a big thing out of it. And I will show you a bit later also the feedback we have if you go to sites like Trustpilot. Here we have a few testimonials of the beta testers for the clients. And the last part I want to show you here is basically the network. So Yieldnotes obviously is part of the blockchain, but Yieldnotes also, in order to sustain itself through future operations, they have now bought up multiple different types of coins, and those coins also go in as part of the profit in order to maximize the investment. So very, very interesting. Some of you will recognize some of these coins, and they have a range of partners also that has slowly but surely expanding along the time. Last but not least, there's a range of frequently asked questions, and I suggest you go through them one by one to make sure that you have all your questions covered. And if you have anything else, there is below also where you can contact them. And you can obviously ask whatever questions you want. So we'll go over and we'll try and log in, and I will show you exactly how this works. So we're now logged into Yieldnotes. So this is the dashboard and the front page you'll see. You'll see also that this is my private account that we are logged into at the moment, and you'll see that the current Masternoding value is in euros, and it will always be euros. The Bitcoin and the Ethereum, you'll see they'll change along the way. You will have the return on investments up until now. So this basically covers the time that we discussed earlier. So about 4 to 5 months, and the return on the investment so far at more than 5,000 euros is quite impressive. So very happy with that. Below we have the weekly estimates that will come out normally every Monday. So in the weekly profits will show here. So for the first week of April, 1.9, second week 2.3, and then in the next day or two we will receive the weekly week 3 profits. So below here you'll see the last 3 months of profits. So here is displayed January with 822, February here just over 2,000, and March was 1,744. And you can go in and have a look at your detailed report. We can start back in 2020 where I started. So this was the first month of profit, and you can see for the entire 2022. So obviously here, as I only started getting into Yieldnotes at the end of the year, the little red dot will just tell you basically that you didn't start on the first and you didn't get the full percentage for all the money in there. So that's why you will have a small difference in percentage. But I've done initial investments several times along the way. I'll show you that a bit later. And you'll see here that the first months of profit was just short on 500 euros. For 2021, it's similar to what you've seen. So 2021, we made so far 4,590 euros. And you'll see, because again, I've done several deposits along the way, you will have these red markers saying this is not for the full month. And a return of funds so far in 2021 is standing at just over 41%. If we go to the second part, the deposit here. So this is where you will normally see your deposits and where you put the money in. You will also see that there's various ways of doing this. So it's a fairly easy one, and you will see here that when you have your money coming in, there will be a 7-day period where your money will be pending, and this is because they need to set off servers and prepare for the masternoding. And when you withdraw your money, the withdrawal will come on this section here. As part of the withdrawal, you do make a request, and if we go down here, it'll tell you that the request should be before the 15th of the month, and then you'll receive your funds no later than on the 8th the month after, so basically 3 weeks after. So it's very, very important you understand that once you start taking the money out, that if you submit on the 16th, you won't get them the month after. They will be taken out, so that means that it will take you about a month and a half to get the money out. So it's good to plan ahead, and that's because, again, of server rentals and everything else. It's also to make sure that they maximize basically the return of all the investors every month. So people taking out money day by day without prior notice will obviously hurt the return on the investment for all the investors. Here below you'll see also the profits that's made. The 499 we talked about before was actually made in December 2020. And because I'm currently compounding 100%, they go back into the system again. One of the things you'll notice here also that these are the dates they are approved. So as they come in and when they have been approved in the system. Up here you can see the compounding, and you can select it yourself. So if you don't want to have any compounding at all, so you can set it for whatever you want. If you want to have 50% of it paid out and the other part reinvest, you can do so. But right now, for the first 6 months or so, I'm expecting to continue to compound the profits, and I'll show you exactly why. Because I have seen enough people already drawing out the money. I know there's not really a big concern on this. So I prefer to keep it like this. There's an affiliate that you will also be able to get introduced to if you should choose to do so. Account settings, everything else, there is various securities for Yieldnotes here, which is very good. Your KYC documents that you have to upload as always. And we come to the performance parts. And the performance part is very similar to what you've seen on the previous page that I showed you. This one here though has March included also, and again this shows you that if you invested, initial investment deposit was 5,000, you will basically end up here. At the moment, Yieldnotes would have passed 15,000 if you wouldn't compound. And with the compounding rate, you will be past 30,000. Yeah, so very impressive. And over the time here, total profit, you would have ended up with 200%, 15,000 euros. And if you would have compounded, you would have come back with an astonishing 564%, or 33,000 euros. So by far a very, very good investment. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Also recently, a few months back, there was an audit, and they let 5 people, some of them YouTubers, go through an online audit, obviously in these COVID times. And out of these 5 people, 3 of them I know very well. So and there's multiple videos out there explaining how sound Yieldnotes actually is, and they have a lot of money at stake in this too. Yeah, not just the use of other investors' money. Again, the openness, everything else, you can contact them through here. Obviously, go through the frequently asked questions first, and you can leave your feedback here. So before we leave the page, as I said, this is a very sound investment, and let's go and have a quick look on Trustpilot to see the current score there, as that is another impressive part of Yieldnotes. So being on the Trustpilot homepage, for those who knows Trustpilot, you'll find a lot of different companies, a lot of different services and everything else that you can go in and rate. And obviously, like everything else, sometimes people use it just for fun, but the general idea is to look through the reviews, and most of the times you can spot let's say the fake ones. Yeah. So in this case here, Yieldnotes has a very high review rate at 4.7, so quite impressive. But that goes again with their transparency, the way they work. Everything is laid out and explained in advance. So more than 90% here you'll have as excellent, 5% great, 1% average, and then you have a few bad ones. And obviously it's always worth having a look at the bad ones also when you look at the doing your due diligence. So if you quickly go through here, there's the one trustworthy, you have another one here which again seems to say good and give 1 star. So not sure what that's all about, but what you can do is you can go and click the individual links and see what else they review and what type of person that reviewer actually is. Yeah, if it's just to mess up the homepage or try to direct scams towards their sites, that happens also. So obviously again you got to be careful. Most of the ones here lie in the 4 to 5 range. So here's one, I guess, again saying that give 4 stars. Looks like they just started it. Here there's some concerns, but again this is not really down to the investment they haven't received, but more about maybe not fully agreeing with the future, the way the future of Yieldnotes will go. But yeah, fantastic returns. Everything seems to be very positive, and that's the same experience that I have here. So there's no doubt about it. Here's one also saying he's going to leave his job, be his own boss. Well, maybe you wait a bit with that. Yeah. So make sure you have multiple different income streams before you do that. So, but definitely it has the potential for it. So, but yeah, very, very positive all the way through, as you can see. So have a look at it, and it's very, very good, at least when you do your due diligence also. that you take that into account. So I hope you found this Yieldnotes review very interesting, and obviously make sure that you see the next updates we will do, most probably in a month's time. So hit that like button, subscribe to us, and make sure you also visit us on the Facebook page to ensure that you keep yourself updated on all the investment opportunities going forward. So for now, thank you very much. See you around. Bye-bye.